Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, and yep, that's right. Finally, the last review for season 1 of Andor, the third and final part. So yeah, and at first, I thought I was just gonna do this myself, as I would usually do, like when it comes to reviewing something on Disney Plus, any shows. But there have been times where I would have somebody with me, reviewing some shows. I mean, you all should know. Like I've of course had my dad on here reviewing some Star Wars stuff, like shows, and a couple of my friends as well. And yeah, this time, and for the third and final part of my review of Andor, I got with me, and it's been a while. I've got with me my good friend Anchorman. It's good to have you for reviewing Andor, the last 3 episodes.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, no problem. So that's right. Episodes 10, 11, and 12. The last 3 episodes of Andor Season 1. And these ones, I think, were not that bad. Not that bad. Especially because, yeah, Episode 10, One Way Out. Description: a rare opportunity opens, and the time for Cassian and his fellow inmates to act his now. Now, this one, definitely this was the moment where Andor was really convinced and told them that the time was to come to break out of prison and to really convince, Kino Loy, again, played by Andy Serkis. I think really, because I think it really feels like Kino, he's really trying to keep the men in line and so on, and to me, it feels like he's kind of scared. But with Andor, with the help of Andor, he really convinces him to stand up, fight the guards, and to make a speech and to get all the prisoners' attention that they have the place to themselves, and just they do escape. And it was just really amazing because the plan that Andor had, like he first broke some faucets, and they, of course, fought back the guards and so on. That's what this episode centers on, pretty much. Of course, we get moments from other characters, but definitely, in this episode, it focused a lot on Andor's attempt to escape from prison along with all the other prisoners. What do you have to say about this, Anchorman, episode 10?
I really love this episode. I think this is my favorite episode because I really like Kino Loy. I think he's one of my new favorite Star Wars characters, only because it took me by surprise when I saw Andy Serkis, because I thought the show was just going to go simple without many familiar actors, but now they had Andy Serkis, and he gives a most different kind of speech you not expect to see in Star Wars, for sure.
Yeah, and you do remember that he played Supreme Leader Snoke in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice that he gets another role in Star Wars, this time where he's himself. He's not, say, a motion capture, alien character, that kind of stuff. Because Andy Serkis, I've established this before, he's not only, as I've considered him the god of motion capture, he's really good at just acting. He's on screen just as himself. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's also, very nice in real life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and speaking of Kino, because the only way they can escape, when they're outside, they basically have to jump into the water, and Kino, he apparently can't swim, and that's the last we see of him. I'm very curious what's going to happen to him. Are we ever going to see this guy again? He was great, and what do you think on that?
I think one of the writers said they think he's still alive. I think maybe he did jump, and maybe he did learn to swim. I don't know. I just love the part where he says, "I can't swim."
Yeah. Maybe he just. My guess is, you're probably that's a good thought. He probably, well, and as what you said about the writers and such, he probably did jump in the water. He had no choice. That was the only.
Cassian was pushed in.
Yeah, well, Andor was pushed in as well. He was trying to convince Kino to jump into the water, but Andor he got shoved, and he jumped into the water as well. Okay. So there was that, and in episode 11, Daughter of Pharynx, the description, a fugitive once more, Cassian must make his next move before it is too late. Now, a lot that happens in this, well, Andor, he, of course, this is after he escapes prison, and now somebody else tags along with him. I can't remember who it is. Do you remember by any chance?
I don't know his name, but I think he was in Rogue One. He was in the Battle of Scarif.
Probably so.
I would have to look him up.
Me too. But he tagged along with Andor, and of course
I thought Kino would tag along at first, but it wasn't him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think for a lot of us who watched this episode, we really thought that Kino would tag along, but no, I mean, that's just how
Episode 10 ends with them in, like, this forest land where it looks like just an endless desert.
Yeah, but, well, basically, like, they're at that beach, and, like, they basically go their separate ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in this episode, well, because hold on a second. Okay, like, it's at this point where Andor's adoptive mother, Marva, well, she sadly died, and even, like, say, the droid, Marva's droid was very, emotional, and, about of her, like, basically, like, because Marva was like a mother to the droid, BMO, and BMO, yeah. And, was, like, refusing to leave, I think, and, yeah, I mean, because, that is understandable. And, of course...
How did she die again? Didn't she have, like, an illness or something?
I mean, I think so, yeah. Probably it was an illness. And also... No, go ahead.
I think the most beautiful scene in Andor was when they were showing, like, Andor's mom rescuing Cassian as a kid, and then showing for Cassian in the present. Like, that scene was beautiful, and the music's really well done. And then,
oh yeah,
if you can definitely feel something when you see her die off screen. Was it? I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah. Also, more scenes with Mon Motha, and at this point, like, in this episode, apparently, like, Mon Motha's daughter is to be betrothed. If you remember that. Yeah. Yeah, like, be, like, set up, for her to be with somebody, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
An arranged marriage or something like that. Arranged relationship, all that kind of stuff. So
I didn't even know Mon Motha had a family until this show.
Yeah, well, we all didn't until Andor. She has a husband and a daughter. So there's that happens, and also, more scenes with Bix still being questioned, poor Bix, and Luthen having to deal with, at one point, a Star Destroyer. He's this close to being, like, towed in, but Luthen, he's got a few tricks up his sleeves, and he destroys one of the dishes that's on this, that's attached to this Star Destroyer. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, that was a good scene. I didn't mention it when I originally reviewed it on my channel.
Oh, okay.
I sort of mentioned it. But, yeah.
Well, of course, well, thanks to me, I've mentioned it, so,
Yeah.
So, there was that, and, of course, obviously we had a feeling that, yeah, Andor, he had to know that his adoptive mother had died, and when he reached out to his home planet, he of course got the word that she had died, and...
He's no longer wearing the prison clothes.
Nope, he's not. So, yeah, what a way to end that episode, like, again, because getting word that his adoptive mother had died, and him and that other prisoner that joined with him, they go their separate ways. So there was that, and finally, the last episode of Season 1, Episode 12, Rick's...
could I say...
What's that now?
So could I say it like this? I think the end scene with episode 11 was beautifully done because like you can notice the sky as like it's evening sky and like Cassian learning his mom died. He just looks like you can see his face, and then the episode beautifully ends. Like I always loved that scene.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. That
Like
kind
they
of,
always have beautiful endings for these episodes.
and that's very important.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, now episode 12, the 12th and final episode in season 1, called Rick's Road. Description: Cassian returns home to Pharynx and a tender box that is experiencing a spark of rebellion. Now this, oh gosh, because there's a lot that happens in this because, well, Andor, he does return home, but apparently, like, as it was mentioned earlier in the show, like a few of those are after Andor and trying to kill him. Apparently, Lutheran, I guess, is wanting to kill Andor as well. He's in on this too. I've established this in my in parts 1, 2, and 3 that there were times that I, was confused, and because there's a lot of talk, if you get what I'm saying, it's one of those. But apparently, like Luthen, he, like he's like in on this too, like going after Andor supposedly, and Andor, like he is also trying to find and save Bix, and there's also the funeral for Marva that happens.
It's like a marching band.
Exactly, yeah. That is kind of cool that we do get to see this like the look of, like, say, the marching band instruments in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I don't know, it made me feel like that might have dragged. I really hate to say that, but I don't know. I mean, it was kind of an important moment right there because apparently everybody in that village, they loved and admired Marva. Do you have anything to say on that sequence?
Say that again.
Okay, well, I was saying that I said that I mean, I hate to say this, I felt that maybe that sequence where the marching band is playing and the funeral is happening, if it was kind of slow and it kind of dragged. I mean, I hate to say that, but again, I feel like it was kind of an important moment because,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I think most of the show was slow, but I think it was trying to slowly tell a beautiful, well-paced story, even if it was slow pacing, even if this scene was slow pacing.
Yeah.
I still liked it, like the marching band. I was confused at first, but what was going on, but
yeah.
But I think it was an alright scene. Like, it was good.
Yeah, me too. And then they play this Bimo. He plays this holographic footage, like, the last, like, speech that Marva gives to everybody, and basically leading up to when she says, like, talking about the Empire, and the last word she says is, fight the Empire, and
I think originally they were gonna say F the Empire, but it was labeled too inappropriate.
I read that, but to me, I'm like, you can't have somebody say the F-bomb in Star Wars.
They did.
What's that?
It'd be surprising if they did.
Yeah, but again, this is Star Wars, so, I'm just
a few swear words, but
yeah, but I don't think Star Wars would go that far with swear words, in my opinion. I mean, like, it used to, like, usually they would just say, like, hell and damn, so that's about it. But anyways, so, like, after she says fight the Empire, that's when everybody in the village goes after members of the Empire that's on that planet. What'd you say?
Even the Admiral knocks over the droid.
Yeah, like, I was kind of pissed off. I was like, you don't push Bimo, like, that dude. And of course,
I think he'll be K2SO.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? Remember, originally K2SO was going to appear in Andor. He was going to co-star alongside with Andor, but of course the show went through some major changes.
Yeah.
So maybe
he'll be in season 2.
I was about to say, maybe he can appear in season 2. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, so big fight and battle happens, and even say that that one Imperial officer, like Dedra, like, she is kind of rescued by what's his face, who redeems himself and proving that he's
The mall cop guy.
What's that now?
Is he that mall cop guy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like he saved her and like showing that he is worthy, I guess you could say, and that he too was after Andor, seeking revenge.
Yeah.
And remember, he's that guy. He's that character. Like he went back living with his mom.
Yeah, he first started off as an officer, and he, I guess, got demoted, and then he got like kind of a boring job.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then now he's still going after Cassian.
Exactly. Even in the last episode, he was informed about Andor's presence, and of course, he does show up. And also, and also Andor, he does rescue Bix, and evacuations happen, and the Pharynx family, they're evacuating, and Bix tags along, and Andor has Bimo take care of Bix, and Bix knows that they'll be seeing Andor again, and thus they will, and he tells them that you'll see me again, however he said it, and
they put him in a drop-off ship.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then, like, say, the last few scenes. Well, like, apparently, so Mon Motha does go along with this. Having her daughter be betrothed and like an arrangement relationship, that kind of stuff that happens. And those two characters who were after Andor as well, those two girls, like, I don't know that much on what happened to them after the battle. Do you know?
What happened to who?
I forget. Sinta and Vel.
Are you talking about the people who take Mon Motha's daughter away?
No, I mean, don't you remember Vel is? I think she is an auntie to Mon's daughter. So.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like Vel is after Andor as well, and I kind of forgot what happens to them afterwards. They probably do escape, after the big battle that happens.
Maybe they got dropped off to a different, safer planet.
Probably so, yeah. But and finally, the last scene in episode 12, standoff between Andor and
Luthen.
Yeah, Luthen. Almost forgot his name.
I like how. It's like kind of starts off like when they first showed the first 3 episodes, it ends with Luthen and Cassian, and now the show ends with them starting back where they started.
Yeah, like I guess Luthen, he decides to not kill Andor apparently, and thus
we know he doesn't die. Andor doesn't die till Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it shows that both Luthen and Andor, they'll be going on adventures in season 2, so
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I wish we could have saw Kino Lloyd this episode, but he wasn't relevant to the plot. But
yeah, that's true. Well, you never know. There's always season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with all that being said, season 1, it was pretty good. It was after all, it was the first season of Andor. I mean, what did you think of season 1?
I think it was kind of slow, but like I said, I think it was trying to build a great story. I like how each of it was like an arc in the Clone Wars. Well, sort of. The first episode's about Cassian on the run. Next, he joins a group of rebels. Next, he's in prison.
Yeah.
And then the last few is wrapping the story up.
Exactly. You got it down right there.
And I like the newer characters. I wish I could have got more familiar with them.
Me too, yeah. Yeah, me too, absolutely.
I know I said in some of my reviews I thought the show was kind of slow.
Yeah.
But I think it's some of the best Star Wars we've seen in a long time. It was definitely different. It
was different. Different, like it had a different feel and vibe than all the other Star Wars shows we so far had.
I think the best scene is when they escape the prison, when Kino says the speech. And
yes.
They're all yelling one way out, and then they're all running across the prison.
Yes, exactly.
They jump, and then they see daylight, and then they jump, and then they swim.
Yep, absolutely. That was a great moment in episode 10. But with all that being said, yeah, season 1, you're right, like, it was slow at times, and yeah, wish that we would have gotten to know the character some more, and we probably will. We probably will in
Hopefully.
season 2. And I realized, like, yeah, not once have Andor and Mon Motha meet in this season. Of course, it's obvious, and probably later on Andor they will meet, so
Hopefully.
yeah, and also, if I said part 3 a couple of times, it's part 4, the fourth and final part of my review of Andor, along with Anchorman. So yeah, but anyways, so season 1, it was good, and we look forward to what season 2 has in store. Apparently,
For a little while though.
What's that?
We probably won't see it for a little while since they're probably still filming it.
Yeah, they probably still are.
2024 or something.
Or from what I saw on IMDb, it could be released this year. We'll just have to wait and see.
Hopefully.
That's all. That's all we can. That's all we can say. But anyways, so thanks for joining me for the fourth and final part of my review of Andor Anchorman.
Of course.
Yep.
Thank you for having me on.
Yep, and me and him, we'll do more review collabs down the road. And what about you guys? What did you think of the last 3 episodes of Andor? What did you think of our review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Last words?
I can't wait for the Mandalorian season 3.
Oh yeah. More reviews on the way. They're going to be awesome. And say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yep. And we'll see you guys in the next video/review. And that's right, as Anchorman said, Season 3 of The Mandalorian is the next piece of live-action Star Wars on the way on Disney+. Not long from now. And definitely look forward to reviewing Season 3. Take care, peace out, and as always, may the Force be with you.
Always.